to be done urgently. I think we did a lot of emphasis on the girl child, and we kind of neglected and forgot about the boy child. And I think it's the high time that we all join hands. Teachers, churches, parents, we all join hands and be there for our boys, because sometimes they feel neglected and they feel like nobody seems to be there for them, to advocate for them and even help them and even listen to them when they need be. So that is why I'm today passionately sitting here to discuss what are some of the things the parents can do to ensure that they're also contributing towards the good performance of the boys. And so that Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Wajuru Kabuchi. I'm so happy, I'm so grateful guys for your continuous support, and I'm so grateful that you guys stopped by and you're now watching my content. I'm so grateful for that. Do not fail to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also leave a comment on the different topics that I'm discussing here, because I feel it is through interaction that we make ourselves better and we make each other grow and make each other better. Now today I'm yet again with yet another interesting video, and today I want us to talk about, generally, as I said, that I'm a teacher by profession and I'm so passionate about the performance and the grades of students. And the reason why I am so passionate about this is because I teach boys, and I've seen and I've continuously observed that they are performing not very presently. And some of the parents always raise concern. How can I do? What can I do to ensure that also my boy is performing better? What can I do to improve on his performance? And so that is why I decided to have a talk, and I decided to be having some talks that are touching on the performance of the students and how best can we as parents, also come in and help the students to perform better and to get good grades. Now, I'm coming from this I'm approaching this from a teacher's perspective, knowing very well that, of course, a teacher plays a big role in the performance of the students, and also the students themselves, they play a big role in themselves performing. But I'm not also forgetting that there's a big and significant role that also the parents can play. So I'm approaching this from three corners: from the teacher's perspective, from the student's perspective, and also from the parent perspective. And today I want to emphasize more on what are some of the things that a parent can do. What are some of the ways in which the parent can help their boys and their students from performing so very well. Many of the time you'll hear me talking about boys because I'm so passionate about the boy child, and from the little times that we have interacted with them, not little, but for the time that I've interacted with boys, there's so many other things that are really affecting them, that really contribute to their poor performance, and parents seems to not understand this, and some of the parents have left it on the role of the teacher to fully guide the boy, to fully support the boy to perform better. But now it can never be just one person. It can never be two people only doing the work. It cannot only be the teacher and the student. It also requires the parent input for all of us to ensure that we contribute to the positive and to the good grades of this child. So to me, when it comes to the performance of boys, I'm so passionate. I'm so passionate about it, because the society, of course, it's wired in a manner to suggest that boys are supposed to be, strong pillar. They're supposed to be role models. They're supposed to be standing strong for themselves and all that. And so one way in which, of course, they can stand strong is when they are independently on their own, when they can easily get good grades, they can easily pursue a certain career, they can easily pursue a certain course. And of course, at the end of the day, though, that one is going to make them to be very, very independent. So, that is one way in which I am so passionate about boys. And let me tell you, of the recent past, of course, even the national exams, you have seen how boys are performing dismally. And so it's a concern to us, the teachers, and to also the parents, and to also everybody around the community. I know you are wondering now, if we have the generation of boys who are not performing better, boys who are not working hard, boys who are not focused, where are we going as a generation? Because you know that a boy is such a significant person in the society, and we can't just ignore them. So personally, from a teacher's perspective, I teach boys, and I'm so passionate about them, and I'm so passionate about their performance. And many of the time that we have talks with them and ask them generally what are some of the things that are ailing them, what are some of the things that contribute to their poor performance. And some of them have gone to be so open to me to talk about and to highlight some of the issues that affect them mentally, these things that affect them socially, things that affect them academically. And I've tried to walk a journey with some of them, and I would say that they have really improved. But despite that, I want to just give ways in which a parent can come in strongly and also help in the performance and in the general good grades of his son. Because let me tell you, whether you are a guardian, you are a real parent to that son, it is very, very important that we all join hands, we support this child, so that at the end of the day we can all smile. Because I think the society has placed the bar way too high for a boy child, and if we do not think about how can we help them as the parents, as the teachers, as the society, I think they are left with very few support systems. So I think the best thing that we should do as parents, support your boy, support any other boy. It doesn't have necessarily to be your son. It can be someone else's son, but mentor them, guide them, be there for them, listen to them. And some of them just require a listening ear. Some of them just require someone who will understand them. What are some of the things that they're going through? And at the end of the day, you guide them the right way. Because when these boys are going through adolescent stage, some of them do not understand themselves fully. Some of them feel neglected. Some of them feel like nobody seems to identify themselves with. So they look at so many other issues, and they're having so many other things that affect them. And so that is why, as a teacher, I got so concerned, and I want to make it a routine or a series where I'll be talking to parents to discuss different issues that affect boys, and to discuss what is your role as a parent generally in raising a good boy, in raising a responsible man out here. Because we all know what is really happening in our modern society today, and we all want to come out strongly and support our boys, because something need to be done urgently. I think we did a lot of emphasis on the girl child, and we kind of neglected and forgot about the boy child. And I think it's the high time that we all join hands. Teachers, churches, parents, we all join hands and be there for our boys, because sometimes they feel neglected, and they feel like nobody seems to be there for them, to advocate for them, and even help them, and even listen to them when they need be. So that is why I'm today passionately sitting here to discuss what are some of the things that parents can do to ensure that they are also contributing towards the good performance of the boys. And so that is what I want us to talk about. I want us to give some insights and some knowledge and some eye opener to parents, and tell them what are some of the things that they need to do to ensure that also they are contributing towards the better performance of the boys. The first point that I want parents to understand, and I want the parent to practice this, it is setting high expectations. Now, boys, whether we like it or not, we want boys to perform as par. The bar should be very high. If you're raising boys in the midst of girls, you don't expect them to perform as girls, right? You expect them to perform way, way higher than the girls. So you as a parent, you have to ensure that you are setting high standards for this boy. If you expect them to perform better, and of course we always say that you aim to the moon and you you land on the sun. No, you aim at the sun and then you land on the moon. So I want the parent to set very high expectations of boys and constantly remind them of those set standards. Let them know that you expect them to perform. Let them know that there are those subjects that are boys oriented. There are those subjects that boys are expected to do very well on, and let them know that. Let that one be on their head throughout. Some distraction throughout. Let them know that actually you expect a lot from them. You expect a lot from them as men, so that you raise the bar a bit higher than the girl child, so that this boy, as he's working hard, he knows that you as the mom, you as the dad, expect him to get a B+ and above, B+ and above, so that when he's working hard, he's at least trying to reach to that B+ and above. But even if his energy is not fully getting him there, then he will land at least to a B or a B-. So let's all have our expectations. Let's all set our expectations with these children. Let's set our expectations with boys, and let them know that that is exactly what we expect of them. Let them know that we are working, and all of us are working towards that. You see, the moment you talk to them and let them know that you have set this bar, they will always have that one at the back of their mind. So even when they're working hard, they will remember, Dad want this, Mom expect this. And so because he doesn't want to fail you in any way, so he will work very, very hard. So I'm saying that the first way in which we can help them to work very hard and to help them perform better is by setting very high standards. Very high standard, yes, but achievable standards. You understand your boy, you understand them, you understand their capability, you understand their potential. So set that bar, having understood their potential, having understood their capability, and having understood their parameter, different parameter that if you are, for instance, in a boarding school, how is that boarding school? What are some of the set standards of that school? So that you are constantly reminding them that when you went for a parent meeting, you are told that the school had a mean of 8, so that you don't expect him to just be at that 8, yet the school is not at that level. So you have to understand all these parameters. What is his potential? Which kind of school does he attend to? So that you can set the expectations depending on those other factors. But constantly remind them of the set expectations. So that when they're working hard, they can always remember, they can always have it in their mind that mom expects this, dad expects this. And so finally, when they work hard with certain kind of goals to be achieved, they will work very smart. They will work very smart, either to outdo themselves, but also to prove that they can be able to do it. So when you set standards, at least you have given them a threshold in which they can work. They can work with, other than just telling them work hard. Tell them work hard to what extent. Yeah, that's my main point. Work hard to what extent is my first point. Number 2 is create a routine. Create a routine that they can be able to follow up, such that, of course, if they're in every school, they have set a certain routine. There is that time that they're supposed to wake up if it's a boarding school. There's that time that they're supposed to be in for class for preps. There are those times that they're supposed to be in for class for lessons. So there are those set routines in school. Apart from that, I'm saying that also when they come at home, or when they are at home for holidays and all that, have very clear routines. Let them know that they should, in their busy schedule, in their busy and relaxing mood, they should also set aside time for studying, so that they know that I am expected to wake up at this time, I'm expected to do some house chores up to this time, then I'm supposed to sit down and do my studies up to this time. So set these clear routines and always stick to them. Yeah, stick to those routines. Remind them of those routines constantly. Remind them. Make it clear. Make it everybody responsibility to monitor and to ensure that that routine is well followed by everybody. If it's that routine for primary school kids, set it. If it's a routine for high school kids, set it. Let everybody follow that routine, so that now when we have a clear routine, they know at this time I'm supposed to be seated studying, at this time I'm supposed to be doing my chores, at this time I'm supposed to be doing my homework and all that. So when you have clear routines, they are able to guide them in which, of course, they're supposed to do, and that will minimize time wastage, and it will also help them to sit down and concentrate for a certain time span. But if you don't set that clear routine, they're likely to just do things haphazardly. At the end of the day, because studying is not one of the things that they like, they might forget it. And of course, if they forget it, that is also going to have an impact on their performance. So I'm saying create a routine and make sure that that routine is followed by everybody. Let all of you be monitoring each other. If it is student and others of the people who are left in the house, let each other monitor that that routine that you have created. And of course, when they are doing that, that one will make them create time sometimes to study, and in the process, of course, they are going to have very good grades at the end of the day. Number 3, another factor that can the parent need to do is, of course, provide a positive learning environment. Provide a positive learning environment. A lot is happening in our today's society. A lot of distractions are there. A lot of things that can make students not to study are there. TV, social media is part of what can distract them. And so when you're creating, when you want to create a study area, ensure that that place is away from noise, it's away from TV, it's away from internet connection, it's away from phones and all that, so that at least they can sit down for some time and do their studies. so that when you create a positive learning environment that is not with any kind of distraction, be it social media, be it TV, be it what, that one will make them to study for quite some time. They will sit down, do their studies. Once they finish, then they go to the other part. They go to the social media, they do the other part of doing things and all that. So please, I'm saying that you create a positive learning environment, which is away from distractions such as TV, such as phones and all that things that can distract them, that can make them not to study. Make sure that you are putting them away from the student who are studying. The next thing is, of course, monitor their progress and give feedback where possible. Monitor their progress in terms of, you have set some standards. You have said that in this subject, this is what they're expected to achieve. In this other subject, this is what they're expected to achieve. Monitor that. See into it whether they have achieved that or not. And if they've not achieved that, what could have contributed to that? Let you have that kind of conversation. Okay, I say that you get a B+. Okay, now you have gotten a B-. What has contributed you to fail in this subject? Let you have that kind of a monitoring routine, so that at least they know that you as a parent, you are really concerned about their performance and you're following up on that. Because the moment they just see, or the moment you just set some parameters and say, you must achieve this grade, but you don't follow up, they're likely to just, mother wanaongea tu hafanyi anything. So to avoid that, make sure that you have set some parameters, you have set some expectations, you have set some targets, and then you monitor them. So that at least they can also know that my mom follow up, my dad follow up on this. So that when you monitor that, you are able to learn what are some of the things that are contributing to them not achieving. What can you do towards that? How can you help? How can you come in? What areas do they need more support? So that now when you monitor, you're able to get the feedback, and you're also able to give the feedback, which is very, very important. And the next point is, of course, encourage good study habits. Good study habits, of course, they're there. Students will always say that I'm studying, but you're not asking how are they studying. Guide them on the good study habits. Let them have a notebook. Let them have a pen. So if they are solving some mathematical questions, let them write down. Let them solve them practically. Let them solve them practically. If they're doing notes, let them have another place where they can write short notes. These are the ones that are going to help them, discuss, remember, and they can easily pop in and pop out and check what is really happening with them. And then they can, of course, remember some of the different points. So those are some of the things that I want you as a parent to practice. Practice them, and at the end of the day, you will just come back here and say that they helped you. So I'm very, very grateful that you stopped by, that you watched my content. Leave a comment down below so that I can be able to see what do you think about today's topic. Thank you so much.